And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. I'm going to say it again. Hit subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, watch to the end, comment, keep the comments coming, and share with a friend, because seriously, the stupidity is out of control. So we have to talk about reports, because reports are saying that Elon may be on his way out of the Trump administration. And that's even after he told the world during last week's cabinet meeting that his monetary goal for DOGE, the monetary goal for these DOGE cuts, went from $2 trillion. Remember they were talking about how they were going to knock off $2 trillion from our deficit? Now it's $150 billion, and $150 billion in 2026. Meanwhile, the other day on Political Beatdown, my co-host Ben Meiselas and I, we spoke about how you can actually find fraud, how you could find waste, and how you could find abuse. And I turned around and I said, how about just the COVID relief package? COVID relief package, we're missing $1 trillion. And what about the $2 trillion that was given out to people who didn't deserve it? And Trump's $1 million trips to go play golf at Lago. To keep up the facade, though, and not to show the American public the real waste, the real fraud, the real abuse, Trump, and of course his pundits, they must lie and lie and lie. Play the clip. That is absolutely not true, by the way, that he built 571 miles worth of wall.
Yeah, I mean, none of it's true. I mean,
I want to do a little fact checking while you're continuing here, because it is a blatant lie. Once again, he had the most, in his mind, the most effective presidency since George Washington. He had the highest stock market, the lowest unemployment, the least amount of debt. Right? I mean, he goes on. And what he does is he spews these lies with such impunity. Ben, I've never seen anybody do something like this in my entire life. You know, this is not Donald Trump the way I knew Donald Trump. He didn't lie like this with just complete and total disregard for the truth. Now, he may over-exaggerate, but these are just blatant lies. He knows them to be lies. He continues to go back to the same lie over and over and over again, because as Stalin used to say, and Trump certainly believes this, the more you repeat the lie, the more the lie becomes the truth.
Going back to this cabinet meeting, Donald Trump talking about the tariffs and the problems that the economy is going to face. Donald Trump says there's going to be transition costs and transition problems, but it's going to be beautiful in the end. That's what he ran on, right? I remember when he said, yep, I'm going to make the biggest, most beautiful transition costs, day one, transition costs, transition problems, transition pain. You're gonna feel pain and suffering. Of course he didn't. He said on day one, things would be great. Housing would be affordable. There would be all of these jobs. There'd be peace in Ukraine. Even before day one, everything would be more affordable. Egg prices right now, despite the Trump regime saying are lower than ever, they're actually higher than ever right now. And when you listen to that, again, what I want to be clear about, everything he says is a lie. The inflation that former President Biden confronted and had to deal with was caused somewhere. You don't know what may have caused the inflation. Could it have been the fact that Donald Trump ran up $8 trillion in debt? Could it have been that Donald Trump, when COVID hit, said like a miracle, it's all going to go away, and bragged about the stock market going up before it crashed? Could it be that supply chains were broken under Donald Trump's first administration? Could it be that it was actually Donald Trump's reckless printing of money as part of his PPP program and forgiving millionaires and billionaires getting all this free money, that could have been inflationary? That when former President Biden had to actually fix the problem, the way firefighters have to put out the fire, everybody was blaming the fire department, not the arsonist. That's what happened from Trump 1 to Biden. Biden fixed it. Inflation was heading down before the transition to Trump to 2%. The economy was called a Goldilocks economy, the envy of the world by the Wall Street Journal. And in clearly less than 100 days, Donald Trump has tanked our markets. He's tanked our economy. Prices are up. To the extent there are things that are deflationary, it signals of a recession that we seem to already be in right now. Corporations have no clue what to do. I mean, are these tariffs real? Are they not real? Are they made up? What are the tariff rates? No one knows anything. There's total uncertainty. M&A, mergers and acquisition transactions, have shut down basically right now. What's going on? What's going on? And the fact that you have those people in that board, it's ridiculous.
You know what's going on, Ben? Lots of lies. Coach Ultima, one of our brigaders here, actually found the same article that I did. 52 miles of new wall during Trump's administration and 450-something miles of replaced walls where they either rusted out or they fell down or they put up secondary walls in certain areas. That's not what Trump is saying here. The extent of the bullshit is legitimately out of control. We have no idea what anybody is saying. Nobody believes any of this, which is not the way that you're supposed to be thinking about your government, right? That your president of the United States tells you something, that's supposed to be the gospel. That's supposed to be the truth, plain and simple. But there is no truth behind anything that these guys are saying at all. This is like one big giant, as you put it, this is like a bad version of, Political Apprentice.
A bad version of Political Apprentice, where you take a bunch of people with no experience who are kiss asses, you put them together and you give them challenges like go and try to come up with tariff formulas. And then they're like, oopsies, we tariff penguins.
DOGE and Elon Musk and Trump were legitimately interested, and I hear that they are in the process of starting to do this. You really want to know where there's major fraud, waste, and abuse? Go back to 2017, 2018, when the COVID relief package first was signed by Trump with his magic Sharpie, all right? He signed the magic Sharpie. $3 trillion is what the COVID relief package ultimately turned out to be. $2 trillion were given out, as you said. $1 trillion is still missing, according to the Office of Budget Management. $1 trillion is still missing. You want to go find half of what you think that you could save in year number one? Go find where that $1 trillion is. I'll go one step further because you brought it up, and it's a sore spot for me. I know people, I do, millionaires, mega millionaires, big businesses that ended up, their accountants told them, yeah, fuck it, put the request in. The government's giving away free money. They got 7 figures, like a Jared Kushner, who I think got $13 million in these companies. Imagine that. While he was still, by the way, senior advisor to the president, they took millions and millions of dollars when they were not entitled to it. That they went ahead and they kept the profit from the company, and then they used PPP money, COVID relief money, to pay their employees. That's not what it was designed for. That, my friends, is fraud, that is waste, and that is abuse. It's truly amazing. By the way, you want to find fraud, waste, and abuse? Head south to Mar-a-Lago and watch the $1,700, $1,800, $2,000 a night rooms that Mar-a-Lago is renting out to Secret Service agents. You want to talk about fraud, waste, and abuse? Let's just start at Mar-a-Lago. Imagine the people who are there to protect the president, because that's just the way it always has been, are paying more than rack rate for the rooms to stay at Mar-a-Lago, which of course is owned by Trump, right? I mean, imagine this, and the food and everything else that they do. The government is paying them. So you take Marine One, the helicopter, cost American people, right, money, to Air Force One. Air Force One, which belongs to the American people, flies Trump, close down the airwaves, gets to Palm Beach. They shut down the roads. You have all the police, all the military. You have everybody, the ambulances, the fire trucks, etc., all in line in the convoy, taking him to Mar-a-Lago. And all the Secret Service, something like 20 some odd, 30 people that are there, they're all staying at Mar-a-Lago at more than the rack rate that's there. Does any of this make sense? Oh, yeah, because tomorrow Trump has to go play in another senior golf tournament at one of his clubs where he knows he's going to win anyway. So what's the point to even play? At a cost so far of about $36 million to the American people. You want to talk about fraud, waste, and abuse? Why don't we just start there? Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.